Oh, listen, hey, welcome to the Trivium Talk Podcast. This is where we talk about things inside and outside of the gym. Thanks for joining us today. We filmed one last week, and we quickly learned that we talk too much. We are going to try to keep this one to 10 or 12 minutes and have like a really good kind of flow that you guys can get used to. So every single week when you grab this podcast, you're kind of know exactly what you're going to get from it. So Matt's going to start with some quick hits, things that are going on inside the gym. So let's take it away.
So this is the warm-up, guys. So did you know we've got new memberships kind of rolling out with the new year? So just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. So did you know that your 12 times a month and your unlimited membership gives you 24/7 access to the gym, to both locations? It also gives you access to yoga that we have on Thursdays and Sundays. Then also, if with your 12 time and your unlimited membership, you have access to the wellness center where we have all the cold plunge and the sauna and the Norm Tech sleeves. It's all there in the app. So it's not just looking at workouts there. You can see our schedule and you can see what your records are, what your PRs are, what your old workouts are. On top of that, the access to both locations comes with both memberships, your 12 times a month and your unlimited. So, bet you didn't know all that. The next thing is next week, we've got our Magic City Games qualifier. We are hosting it here at the Brentwood location. They're coming from Birmingham all the way up. And we're going to throw it down. They're going to treat it very similar to an open workout. They're going to make this an awesome kind of broadcast, a good production. We're going to shut down afternoon classes here so that they can get set up. We want everyone to come out and have a good time. Our athletes are going to do it just like how the open is. They're going to announce the workout. They're going to have about 10 minutes to warm up. And then they're just going to get after it. And we're going to have a good time cheering them on. So that's next Friday. That's the 23rd. And so with the warm-up done, let's talk about the workout. So today, we're going to discuss how to scale like a pro. Nate, you brought this up, and why would you think that with the new year coming up and the open coming up, this is a good topic to be hitting right now?
Yeah, so thinking about it from an athlete perspective, as somebody that does have to scale and modify workouts a good bit, I think that there's an opportunity there to learn how to get better with scaling, right? And not just look at it from the perspective of like, oh, I can't do this. Boo-hoo me, I'm going to have to scale it. My workout wasn't as good. I wasn't as, ready for this workout or whatever, right? And so I think as we come into the open and we look at things that have a skill set, when we a lot of times we default to here's the modification, that's all I'm going to do, and I don't progress in that area. Right. So there's one of I can't do it because of skill. The other is I can't do it because of an injury. Mm-hmm. Right. I've got something going on. That's kind of where the boat I'm sitting in. Right. I got something going on with my foot. Had it going on forever. I'm really trying to work through all those things. But when a workout comes in with, box jumps, a ton of box jumps or double unders, for example, it's just not something I can really do or is a good idea for me to do on this injury.
Sure.
And so how to approach that when you're prepping for something, I think matters. Right? Yeah. I think it's a good conversation for us to have.
Yeah. So I think when we think about scale, kind of hitting the first part of it, a lot of athletes come in. I say athletes, that's just you and me. That's anyone that walks into the gym is an athlete. A lot of times we think it as taboo. We think it's like, oh, I'm making things easier, or that means I'm not, as good as something else. But when I think about scale, you can kind of put it in like Gen Z terms, like you're modifying the workout. And we're modifying it to hit the stimulus or the goal of the day. And so when scaling is not bad, when you actually think of the word, we can scale down or we can scale up to hit the stimulus that we want. And when we talk about stimulus, we think either, hey, we want you to feel this way in the workout. We want your heart rate to be jacked up, or we want your heart rate to be nice and kind of smooth all the way across. So let's find movements that allow you to do that. But we can also scale from the movement pattern as well. And it's like, hey, I don't have the strength yet to do pull-ups, but I want to get there. Cool, what do I need to do? It's like, okay, well, now the goal is a little bit more of getting closer to the movement. So we're not just going to throw something simple that's like ring rows. Maybe that's not where you're at, but maybe that is the right thing for you today. So from a scaling perspective, it's really trying to find that walk that tightrope of, are we getting better at the movement that we're modifying, getting closer to it? Are we still hitting the stimulus for the day? Because we still want you to have a good workout as well.
Yeah. So for me, let's just take yesterday's workout. We had a 12-minute AMRAP. It was 10 goblet squats, 10 deadlifts, and then 50 double unders on the competitor side. Right? Goblet squats, super excited about getting some squat volume in. That's something I've, with my knees and things like that, I've been working on building back up to high volume squatting. It's been going really well. So I was like, all right, awesome. Get to crush the squats. Deadlift's a good movement for me. I can move through those pretty quickly. As soon as we get into the bounding, jumping, it doesn't matter if it's a double under or single under, any kind of bounding on my foot, it just starts to really flare up. So I'm doing all this PT stuff on the side, but at the same time, I want to get some exposure to actually jumping, right? And keep the workout tough. So I know for me, like sets of 10, just any kind of 10 bounding, that's kind of where my goal is to stay in a workout. Hey, do 10, let it rest, do 10, do 10, do 10, right? And so I chose to do a heavy rope. I know I can bound for 10, rest, bound for 10. So I grabbed one of the heavy ropes. We have drag ropes, heavy ropes, regular ropes, and just go single bounding for 10. And my win for the day, I try to focus on wins so I don't get kind of down on myself. My win was I want to get I want to go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. But I want to jump at a double under pace. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I'm not like going bing, 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 quick singles. I'm jumping as though I'm swinging that rope twice. And so that comes back to what you were saying of like advancing the skill, getting the good workout, and then knowing where I need to be and what I'm capable of doing to kind of preserve all of that within the workout.
Right. So what we're thinking, that category for me is like reintroduction of movement, right? It's like you have the skill of double under, but we are coming off an injury and now we are reintroducing that movement. And so volume is kind of the check on that.
Yeah.
So again, okay, well, we've really dialed back volume on this. So how do we find intensity to try to hit the same stimulus? And then for you, that's adding weight to the jump rope, right? And then so like that is, again, walking that fine line for you. For other people, it could be, I don't even know how to jump rope, period.
Right.
Single unders will be plenty. I don't even want you to worry about like jumping like a double under or anything like that. I just want you to get that rope to go underneath your feet 20 times today. Let's do that. That's cool. Some people, I think, just default like, oh, I can't do double unders, or I'll just do single unders all the time. And it's like, well, we can dial that in even more, because at the end of the workout, can you say that you got any better or any closer to doing double unders?
Yeah.
And most people are just for 50 reps and like, okay, cool. It's like, okay, great. We know that you can do jump rope. All right. But did you do anything to get better at double unders here? So as a coach, hopefully we're looking at, well, what's the reason why you don't have it?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the jump down yet. So let's do single unders, but like you said, more of a bounding jump. It's going to slow you down, but it's going to make you work on that jump. Or, hey, I can do some that just gets really bogged down when I try to do too many. All right, let's do 5. I would just want you to do 9 single unders, and on that 10th jump, go for a double under. It's not going to slow you down. It gives you 5 attempts every time you come back around it. You still got the deadlifts and the goblet squats to work through that. So yeah, I think jump rope's a great way of showing like there's so many different ways to modify it, even though it's also the one that we just default to doing. We'll just double it with single unders and call it a day.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't just like, all right, well, I can't do pull-ups. It's like, we'll just double it with ring rows and call it a day. We get into the nitty gritty with pull-ups so much more of like, maybe you're doing box assist, maybe you're doing negatives, maybe you're doing banded if it makes sense. Then we go down to ring rows if none of that works. So
what would you say to the person that looks at the workout and sees a movement they know they either can't do, they struggle with, they have an injury they can't get around, and just goes, why am I going to the gym today? I can't do that.
Like, oh yeah, saying, hey, we got whatever tomorrow. It's like, that's what a great day to get better.
That's it.
That's my first thing. And like it's not joking, but it's kind of joking because I know what everyone's thinking when it's like, oh, I'm so bad at whatever. It's like, for me, when I look at it from an athlete side, I'm like, man, if I'm trying to bring up all levels of fitness and like this is here and this is way down here, it's so much easier to improve the thing that I'm bad at than it is to improve the thing that I'm good at, right? If you are an elite runner, you have to put so much work in to just shave it down 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
If you are a terrible runner, you can jog for 10 days and see significant
Yeah, their ceiling is way higher to get better as opposed to somebody who has that skill and is like, well, I'm just trying, I can do 50 on program. I'm trying to do 55.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to I can do none and I'm trying to get to this right here. You've got a higher ceiling to get better. And if you don't show up those days, it's not going to happen.
It never gets better. Yeah. Right. And so the hope, again, is that we have these amazing coaches that can make you feel like you left today with a win of whatever. Like for you, it's like, hey, we came together, we talked, we're going to try to get sets of 10. First and foremost, I want to make sure that your calf isn't flaring up.
Yeah.
That's a win. You got 200 jumps in, no calf pain. Sick. Next time, we'll try something a little bit more, And so it's like, oh, cool. Instead of you just looking at it, well, let's go another double under day.
Right.
It's like, no, that's not what you mean. You got better at something. And for you, you got a little bit closer to being back to where you were. Awesome. That's the win. Forget about it now. Move on. Let's get on to
Yeah, and it was fun. Like Jess asked me afterwards, the same conversation. It was, how you feeling? How's your foot? It was a big win for me.
Right.
Be able to work through 10, and look, mid workout, I was doing 10s. It was going good. And I was like, let me try 20. And I went to 20. I felt I was like, no, back to 10 now. All right. So it gave me the opportunity not just to have a win, but to test and have a quick reaction and self-regulate back to what I thought. And maybe at that workout, it was like, oh, I can do 20. And like yesterday it wasn't. So I had the win. I was able to test and I got an awesome workout.
Yeah.
Charles, thing.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I mean, I think that's a great perspective, right? We want to get away from not showing up on those days. We want to come in with the attitude of I'm going to get a win here and I'm going to get better and I'm going to get a workout. Right. That's what we want out of those days. Right. I think controlling the mental side of that, if you can walk in, what I see a lot of is the mental beatdown of I wasn't good enough. This wasn't good enough, whatever. None of those are the goals. Those shouldn't be part of any of our conversations, right? Being good enough or whatever. Right. We got to bring it back, not just as athletes and people walking in the gym, but as coaches, bring it back to those wins. I think that's a cool thing.
That's where I put a lot of responsibility on our coaches, that we are the experts in this scenario. So we have to be able to bring that to the athlete and not always expect the athlete to know what to do.
Yeah.
So, that's from our side of it. I think we take a lot of responsibility in providing the scenario to give them a chance to win.
And scaling goes both ways.
Right.
There's a real important thing you said. I've come into workouts where I look at the GPP and then I look at the competitor and I go, I'm kind of somewhere in between. Right. And we had a workout the other day with pull-ups, chest to bars, and muscle ups. And I ended up scaling up on the gymnastics and keeping the weight and everything else the same because I wanted to work on those gymnastics. So again, scaling goes both ways. It's not a failure. It's an opportunity.
Right.
And I think that's a really good point. But yeah, I think that's a huge topic of conversation for most people walking in the gym, especially CrossFitters that have been going for a couple of years. They see the word scale that's got a negative connotation to it. It really doesn't need to. It really shouldn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that goes for not just new people, but also older people have been doing it for a while too. Pride gets in the way a lot where it's like, I have to do this, at this or like with this weight and these movements. And we even put in the notes yesterday, hey, if you're typically a competitor athlete, it still may be better to do the GPP workout because it's going to test you to keep going. And so you may actually get a better endurance feel, which is what we were going for there by doing the GPP version, because that's less opportunity to stop.
That's exactly.
And so sometimes we're like, well, I did scale, I did it RX or prescribed, but you didn't really get the great workout they were looking for. And that goes back to, did you get the stimulus? And it's like, which was better, 1 round of competitive or 6 rounds of GPP?
Yeah. You didn't win by doing it.
It depends.
You checked the box and whatnot.
Yeah. Again, we could talk about every scenario that comes around, but ultimately it's making sure that did we get better today or get closer to the goals that you're looking for that day? Sick.
I love it.
Cool. Get away from it.
Very cool. All right. What's next?
Yeah. So we want to try to have some fun at the end of every podcast. Today we're going to do a game. It's going to be a blind ranking. I've got a category for Nate.
Okay.
I got a category for Nate. And I've got some items within that category. He doesn't know what the category is, and he doesn't know what the items I'm going to present to him are. He's going to go with a blind ranking between 1 and 5 and just see if he can kind of agree with it in real time as if he knew the whole thing. So the category is with the open coming up, we always know there's going to be that long workout. And so what is the best movement to end a 20-minute AMRAP on? So we've got 5 different ones. It's the very end of the workout. Guys, you got 30 seconds left.
What do you want to fit in?
Where do you want to be at in this workout? That's like, yeah, I'm ready for it. Okay.
I've got one in my head that I want to be number one, but we'll
see. So we've got, I'm trying to put just open style workouts in. Okay. So I don't want, you can go ahead and start to wrap your head around that. Still not giving any hints, but these are open movements that we've seen in the past that we would want to finish a workout on. Okay. So starting out, we're going to go with wall balls, 1 to 5.
1 to 5. I'm going to go
1 being the most I want. That's where I want to be.
Yep. I'm going to put wall balls at 3.
Okay. So that's our it's kind of our middle of the pack, right? It's like, okay, everything is
I
now.
don't hate it, don't love it, but like,
If you're on the wall ball at the end, you got a minute left, you know you can kind of go for it, right? Okay, from there, then let's go rower. That's your number one.
I want to end on that rower and sell out on that. That was what I
That was it.
So I want to be on the rower.
Okay, so then I think I know where we're going to go from here then. What about burpees?
Burpees.
Let's be more specific. Burpees over the bar. 4. That's your 4. So right now we've got rowing is number 1, where you want to finish. Wall balls are 3. Bar facing burpees is 4.
And I'm saying that because I think there's some coming that I think is going to fit into 5, but I'm worried that now 2 is going to be.
Yeah, I'd really like finishing on burpees because there's no thinking. You can just go to autopilot, right? It's really, I always kind of think about it's really hard to fail a burpee at the end. So it's like kind of in the same sense.
You've not seen me do burpees, then I could fail a burpee.
Sure. Okay. So, all right, let's go to the next one. Double unders.
Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. I mean, for me, or is it ankle injury, Nate, or not?
No, let's just say like we're ready to rock. Yeah, you're good to go.
I don't like this, but I'm going to put it at 2 because that's available. If I could go back, I would swallow wall balls double under.
Yeah. So double unders.
That's the line. That's hard.
Yeah. When we think about double unders, it's when you watch, like if you look at traditional open workouts, you're like, oh, if I get to do double unders at the end, it's like I got 40 more reps. Yeah. So it does like skyrocket your score up a little bit. But like, oh, someone beat me by 30 reps. Like they beat you by like 15 seconds.
You got a couple, you're like, you got to be kidding me. A 20-minute workout to gain 2 reps. It's like, no.
But then on the other side of it, it's like you have 30 seconds and then it just all falls apart. You're like, oh, sure. Like that's my worst nightmare.
I just picture myself sitting there at 20-minute workout, just tripping and tripping and tripping.
So if you're going to do it again, you're like, I have to do all this just to have a clean run of double unders again. So anyway, I think that's could be anything. So the last one, so we've got, so then the 5-hole, right? This is what we have left. A heavy squat clean.
Yeah. See, I thought wall walks was coming.
No,
I was saving that 5. So it's going to sit 5.
Yeah. So
we'll sit 5.
So, man, but I think there's nothing more fun than hitting like a buzzer beater clean.
Yeah.
When you have those ascending reps. Obviously, I'm making up my own workouts in my favor in this. And it's like, you got 10 seconds left and you step up to it. Everyone's yelling at you and you just stick the landing on the squat clean. Like,
I like it. I got wall walks was coming for sure. And that is, I would rather have a root canal than do wall walks.
So to wrap it up, Nate's ranking, we had what did we have at 1? We had rowing at 1. That's where he was supposed to finish that. Then he went double unders 2, a little miss there, and then we had wall balls from there.
I would have put wall balls 2,
and then went from there from burpees, and then finishing with the heavy squat clean. So, if you're watching this, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that. Where would you put this now that you know where everything is? And I'm sorry that you regret your choices.
That's all right. That was fun though. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. If there's one thing we want you to take away from this today, scaled is not failed, and scaling can go both ways, up and down. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys in the gym.